Hello and welcome back to the Airtime Rush YouTube channel. My name's Jordan and today we are jumping back into Planet Coaster 2 for a special one-off Christmas episode. Now, I thought I would jump on and build a roller coaster, Christmas themed. Obviously we got the Christmas pack added not long ago into the game, so I thought I would do a Christmas themed roller coaster. Now, I thought I'd level it up a little bit and do it based off one of my favourite ever Christmas films, which is The Grinch.
Get my cloak.
So I'm going to do this massive indoor roller coaster themed to the Grinch. The funny thing is, Universal were actually going to build something like this in real life. When they were building Islands of Adventure, the plans were to build a Mount Crumpet roller coaster. Basically, a bit like Expedition Everest at Disney. It was going to be something like that in the Dr. Seuss landing area. And it never happened. I think it was just due to the cost. Obviously, when they first opened that theme park, they didn't have the money that they probably did today, or they didn't want to invest too much money into it. But it's something that I'd love them to do. So I thought I'll jump in and I would do my own take on it. So basically, I've used the Intamin multi-dimension roller coaster, and it's going to be housed inside this massive mountain. And the story to the roller coaster is a bit like the film. You're in this vehicle, you're one of the Who's, and you think it's funny to go into the Grinch's lair, which is this massive mountain, but it turns out you're actually trying to turn the Grinch good and make him into a Christmas lover instead of a Christmas hater. So it starts off, the Grinch is warning you to get out of his lair and stuff like that, and then towards the end he starts to mellow a bit and become good, and then he tries to return the presents that you've stolen, just like the film really. So the first thing that I do when building any dark ride is get the track in, whether it's a roller coaster or a tracks ride or even like an indoor log flume. You want to get your main ride built with a few ideas of scenes and stuff in your head. So with this, I had a few ideas of some scenes that I wanted. So obviously with this roller coaster, there's lots of trick tracks. So with this one, for example, that I'm putting in here, it kind of goes up and then it falls down. So my idea for this one is to have it as the garbage chute scene. So where Cindy Lou goes in, she invites him to go into the village and get an award or something. And he basically pulls a lever and she falls down this garbage chute. So that is what I themed that to. So like with each of the thing, like the drop track, I've got a different scene for that. There's what this little, it's like a tilt track kind of thing. So they're where the main scenes are going to be. They're going to be based on these track sections, which I think is really cool. But yeah, I definitely recommend get an idea in your head of a storyline, a theme, and then build the coaster or the track ride, and then start going in individually and theming it up. So the first thing I theme up here, you can see, is this first lift hill. So I want it to have like a little pre-show kind of thing. It's the Grinch basically saying how he hates the Who's. So I put this like platforming, because I still want it to be quite realistic. So obviously if the ride breaks down here, people will have to walk down this area. So it will probably have steps in it or something. And then I've obviously put rocks on the side to like enclose it. With this ride, with it being based in a massive mountain, rocks are like the main thing that I use to build it in. But if you're doing like a lower scale dark ride, maybe the park don't have the budget, you could just put like blank walls and stuff, because when it's pitch black inside there, you don't really see much. But the annoying thing with this ride is them headlights on the front. I've tried changing the colour, I've tried like decorating the car up and putting some pieces on the front of it to hide these spotlights, but I just can't do anything. So if you guys know how to get rid of the spotlights on the front of the multi-dimension coaster, please let me know, because I'm having an absolute nightmare trying to do it. It kind of ruins there's a few surprises in this ride, but you can kind of see them before they happen because of these big spotlights on the front of the carriage. So yeah, if there's any way of covering them up, please let me know. But yeah, I've done that first scene of the first lift hill, and then I thought I'll come underneath just so I can start enclosing this area. I don't want to do the top of the ride and then have to like zoom in underneath the coaster to get the bottom bits done. So I thought I'll do this bottom bit. So this is basically the Grinch's main lair bit where you first see him. So I'm just kind of cluttering it. I've got a few pictures online. There's lots of pipe works in the lair. There's lots of random metal things. So I just kind of cluttered it with some random stuff. That was my idea with this ride. I didn't really have like a full scale in my head of what I wanted to do. I just kind of looked at some pictures, watched the film, and just started placing a load of random stuff, making sure they were the right colour. Obviously, there's a lot of like browns and stuff like that, and then obviously a lot of greens as well, with it being the Grinch. But yeah, I'm just putting a lot of pipe work on the roof area. Again, it's something that you probably won't look up to when you're on the ride. You won't see all this, but I just want it to be there because it's a Universal ride, and Universal makes some of the best rides in the world. So I was going to make my own little Grinch character, but there's some amazing ones already on the workshop. So I use this one. It's from Jurassic Kevin. So a massive shout out to him. He made this. And the sleigh as well, and there's another version of the Grinch as well. I just thought, to save a bit of time, I thought I'd use this, and I can't do any better than this. I'm really bad at making things out of the shapes and stuff. So this is perfect. All I've done is animate it, so I'll put it swiveling around like that. With this ride as well, there are so many triggers, so that's something you'll see me do soon. So moving on now, this is my take on trying to build something with a load of shapes, and I'm basically building the monkey out of the film. Do you know, the one with the big symbols? That is going to be one of the things you can see here. I'm just kind of, I made a right mess of it. But yeah, this is my first time of actually trying to make a character out of these shapes, and it is so hard. So fair play to anyone who can make some really good ones. But yeah, it's basically a big symbol monkey that I'm making, and that is going to be part of one of the scenes. It's basically a drop track that goes up and down. It's like a bouncy drop track, and the monkey's going to be there with the symbols hitting you, just like in the movie when the Grinch puts his head in between the symbols. That is the kind of thing I'm going for. The good thing with like basing this ride off the Grinch is I don't have to make up the story. It's already there in a movie and books and everything like that, so it's pretty easy to do, because all I need to do is really copy the film and stuff like that. And this is a good idea. Again, the actual trick tracks on this ride make it so much easier as well to put a scene in. So I'm like, yeah, I can have one here, I can have one there, and there's lots of different track elements on this ride, so it's brilliant. So here you can see you go through that room that was just built, and then this bit of track that the car's on now will bounce up and down, and the monkey will close these symbols on your head. So yeah, that's the theme I've gone for here. Again, it's not great. Like I said, this is my first time making something like this. It don't look fantastic, but I couldn't find anything like this on the workshop that I could use, so I just kind of bit the bullet and did it, and it's okay, it works. It's not great. I did want to add a lot of smoke into it just to make it look a bit better, because obviously you can see some of the joints and stuff in this monkey, but for some reason on this game, like when it goes dark, you can't see the smoke or anything like that. It's something that I don't know if it's something I need to change in my settings on the game, or it's just something that doesn't work very well at night time. So yeah, but a bit of smoke in this area would have probably made it look a lot better than what it turned out to be. But anyway, it's still good. You can see then the track bouncing up and down. And I had a nightmare with this as well, because I used the wrong track. So I basically used one where you go up, you go backwards, and then you're meant to pass through it again. But that's the one I used. So the track section wouldn't reset itself, so I couldn't run more than one train, because every time the second train got to this area, the track hadn't reset ready for that train. So I had to change that. But you can see here, the symbols are going. It looks okay. It's okay. So another scene that I'm going to do as well is the dog scene. So at the start of the film, if you've watched the film, the one with Jim Carrey, there is a bit where the Who's go up the mountain, they're daring each other to knock on the door, and then this big dog comes out. It used to scare me so much as a child. I used to have to walk out the room when that bit came on. Looking back at it now, it's not scary at all. But yeah, there's that, and then you drop into like a 13 drop track section. You can see I've changed it to nighttime now. I'm trying to get the lighting right and everything like that. A bit of green lighting and stuff. And yeah, again, it's all about triggers, trying to trigger it up. And it's so hard to do all the triggers. Honestly, the amount of times I've had to put a trigger in, test the ride, make sure it's all working okay. It's just an absolute nightmare. But I did it, and obviously the hard part that you won't see in this video, which I've done behind the scenes, is getting video clips and audio clips from the film, importing them into the game and trying to sync them up with the ride as well. It's been something that I've never done properly before. I did it in my last series when we did Adventure Isles with the Tiki Wiki dark ride, but that was nothing on the scale of this. This is something that I've never done. You can see here on this section I'm putting some screens in, because I thought, like with Universal, some of the rides are very screen heavy, so I kind of wanted to use that, and it's a good way of adding some theming into a ride without actually having to put physical sets in. So I thought, I've got the film here, I can get some clips off here. I got some clips off YouTube, and I can play them here. So again, I'm trying to sync it all up, and I want to hide these screens as well. So I want to build some rocks around them just to make it look like they're actually built into the wall. You don't want to see big screens like this. You want them to be themed up a little bit. So on this screen, the first screen there, I've got the Grinch when he's like playing around. Is he playing with the dog or something? He's like, I'm a psycho, I'm a psycho. Yeah, that's playing on that screen. And then the top one, he's basically saying, oh, I've scared them who's off, Max. We've done a good job there. And then you go backwards into a switch track. So yeah, it's all about the timing. You can see it playing really fast there. So that first one's done, and then I need to work on the second one. And then just theme up this area. Apart from that, because it's going to be so dark in this room, I've literally just built a big box around it all. And it works perfectly. It works really, really well. You can see there, I was trying to get the timings right, because obviously I need it to be perfect to start at the right time and finish at the right time as well. So it took me a while to get it in, and you can see there, it didn't stay on that track for a while. So I actually had to rebuild the ride a little bit, and you can put like a timer delay for it to stay in that section, so you can watch a bit of the screen before it goes backwards. But you can see here, I don't know why I didn't record this, but I built a little, I used one of the Grinches there, and I built this little tower, because that's actually in the film when he goes down a lift, and then he goes into like the changing room thing where you can see him getting changed and stuff like that. So I thought I would have a little bit of a physical set along with these screens as well, and I just think it works really well, because it just means it's not just fully screens, there is some physical sets there as well. And you see here, I'm just trying to get this rock working. You can see here, I wanted to cover the edges of the TV screens, so I used more or less the same rock really, and then the bits that you can't see, so behind that physical set there, I just put a metal wall behind it, because you're not going to see it. It's going to be pitch black in there, maybe a spotlight in there, but apart from that, it's going to be pitch black. But you can see there that the Grinch goes down like he does in the actual screen there. He goes down, and then he goes behind that shower screen and gets changed. So I thought that was a really cool idea to add that physical set in there as well. And some moving parts. You can see them cogs as well, because in the film there's loads of moving parts and cogs and stuff, so I thought I'd introduce some of that into it as well. You can see I'm just playing it a little bit. And then he goes down, and then he appears on the screen, and he talks and stuff, so I thought that was really cool. This section here, this is the first like switch track to go back forward. This is the bit I don't like of the ride. If I was going to change anything, it'll be this bit. I basically put it, this is where he's storing all these presents that he's just nicked before taking him to the top of the mountain. I tried to put some audio in here, but I just could not for the life of me sync it up very well. You can hear it slightly, but it doesn't last very long, and it could do with something else in this area. Again, I could maybe put another Grinch in there talking or something, but apart from that, there's not much going on. It's just, I just used it as a switch track really, but I thought if I put all these presents in here, you can see that he's actually storing these presents, and he's keeping them here before you go into the section. So yeah, like I said, in your head, you really need to have it all planned out. I like writing it down, so I've got, in my phone, I've got the notes app where I just literally write down the scenes that I want to include. Do like a bit of a mood board where you say like station, first lift hill, first scene, write what scene you want it to be. I think that's the best way of doing a dark ride, having it planned out before you start building it. And then when you do start building it, just do a bit at a time. It is so in your head, you're like, oh, I'm going to build this. When I started building this ride, I was like, I've messed up here. I'm never going to get this done. But towards the end, it just all starts coming together, especially when you start adding the audio. It just starts feeling more like a dark ride. And yeah, you need to have patience with this game, because it does take a while to get it right. So here, this is the final lift hill that you're going to go up before you reach the top of the Mount Crumpet. So I thought, again, I wanted to put this in because it goes right over this next section. So I thought if I get this section in first, map out where this lift hill is and stuff like that, it just makes it easier. And then I can start filling in these gaps that you can see here, making it dark. So regarding lights and stuff like that, I kind of go in later and do most of the lighting, because then it's dark, I know where the lights need to be and stuff like that. So moving on, I am putting in the garbage chute now. So this is the bit where you fall backwards, which I was talking about before. The Grinch pulls a cord and you fall backwards down this garbage chute. So I used, I think these are just like normal pipes that I put around in a circle. And it's just about copy and pasting loads of them to make it look like some sort of pipe kind of thing. This was really fiddly because the actual rotation wasn't in line really, so it took me a while to move. I had to do one at a time, and it took a while. Originally, I was only going to go up to about here, what you can see on the recording, but I thought I may as well just do it all, because otherwise I'm going to have to just put more rock work in, and there's already a lot of rock work in this ride already, so I didn't want to do too much of that. But I really enjoy building this ride. It's something that I've never done before. Like, I think in Planet Coaster 1, I did a Alton Towers recreation, but it was nothing serious. And this is the first proper movie thing that I've done, and I definitely think I want to do more of this. So I'm thinking, obviously, I've got a new series coming out on Planet Coaster 2. It will be starting just after Christmas. So in the new year, January, this new series is coming out, and it's where I build a massive American amusement park. It's going to have some fantastic roller coasters. I've already recorded quite a bit of it, so the episode should come out pretty quickly. I've recorded at least 3 to 4 episodes already, so that should keep it ahead while I start working more on the park. But I built a roller coaster which is like 500 foot, so that's going to be incredible. But after that series, I definitely think I'm going to do a movie theme park. So thinking like Universal. I'm not going to base it on Universal or Disney films. I'm going to go more like Warner Bros, Paramount, stuff like that. A bit like the London Resort that was going to be in the UK. So it's going to have different areas. I might do like a Pokemon area, a Scooby-Doo area, Lord of the Rings, that kind of thing. They're what I've got in my head of like film IPs that I can use. So yeah, that is something that I definitely want to try. It's just building these figures. Like, I'm so glad that this amazing creator had built these already, so I didn't have to do this, because I was dreading building these characters. But yeah, he's done a great job. So yeah, that is Jurassic Kevin, so check him out on the Steam Workshop. He's got a few other bits as well. But yeah, this was just, it saved me so much time just using this, so yeah, big shout out to him. So I put the Grinch there, pushing this sleigh, because he's going to be on that final lift hill. He's going to be going up, and it's going to be like he's pushing this sleigh right to the top of the mountain before pushing it off the edge and destroying Christmas. But at the top, Cindy Lou's there. She stops him from doing it, and yeah, the rest is history. He turns good and returns the presents back to the Who's. So yeah, it's good to have a story in mind, and I absolutely love The Grinch. Who doesn't love The Grinch? The Grinch is such a fantastic film. But these actual triggers I'm using, they are so annoying, like these animatronic things, because the up and down, it doesn't really go up and down that much. There's a trick you can do where you can join two together, and it makes it longer, so I did use that at some point. I think it's towards the end of the ride. But again, this final turn track thing here, there's not much going on. It's another screen. I put a little bit of an animatronic in there. He's going to be pushing the sleigh, which activates when you go in there. And then obviously the screen as well before you make your way up to that final lift hill. And then when you get to the top of the lift hill, obviously we'll have a bit more story up there. And then you finally drop into the actual proper roller coaster. Apart from that end bit where you drop down the mountain, I wouldn't really say it's much of a roller coaster. There's not much thrilling parts going on. There's a drop track, which are quite thrilling. That backwards section when you go down the garbage chute, that'd be quite thrilling as well. But apart from that, there's no big drops or anything, apart from right at the end where you go down the mountain. But that's kind of what I wanted it. I wanted it to be more of a dark ride than a roller coaster. I just chose a roller coaster because with it being Grinch themed, I wanted it to be in this massive mountain, and it wouldn't really make sense just to have a normal track ride in a massive show building and not go to the top of the mountain. I wanted it to have that final drop coming out the mountain. Like you're going, like in the film, he literally saves Cindy Lou, and then he goes down on the sleigh, and you have to like try and drive it, and he's crashing into trees and stuff. That's kind of what I wanted the ending to be. So again, I had material there to plan the story and stuff. I just literally needed to watch a film and literally recreate that in the game. So it worked out really, really well for me. Here I'm just trying to trigger up this sleigh. I want it to come out so he's like kind of showing you, look what I've got. And then here, this is him pushing it up the hill. Again, I've got some clips of the film, like the narrator who says, oh, he's going to the top of Mount Crumpet to dump it. So I've got that like synced up with some speakers. That's going to be a bit of a show scene. And then you get to the top, and that's where he starts turning good, and his heart gets bigger, just like in the film. And then he saves Christmas and takes the presents back. So it's a pretty simple story, really. It's something that I didn't really have to do much thought about. But I'm just so happy with how this turned out. I can't wait for you to watch the POV. So stick to the end because the POV is coming up very soon. I can't wait for you guys to watch it. It's so good. Honestly, it's taken me... I don't even know how long it's taken me to do this, but it's literally one of the best things I think I've created in Planet Coaster 2. And something that I've never done before. I'm really proud how it turned out. So yeah, here again I've got this final scene. This is where he hears them singing, I think, and he's like, oh, maybe Christmas is more than just presents. And this is when he starts turning good. So I wanted just at the top of the hill, you stop, you listen to him doing this, and then you go into the next bit, which is where his heart gets bigger and it becomes good. And then the final bit before you drop down the mountain is where Cindy Lou is on top of the sleigh, and he's trying to save her basically before plummeting down the mountain. So yeah, more or less done with the building now. The rest of this is just all like trying to house this final lift hill. And then around, now that I've got all this enclosed with the rock work and everything, off camera all I did was build a massive warehouse over the top of it, like real life. It looks fantastic. It looks like real life because obviously when you're standing at like in a guest point of view, you see this massive mountain, you're like, wow, that's incredible. But if you go around the back, it's just a massive warehouse. It's like the back of Everest at Animal Kingdom. It's so clever how they've done it, because it just looks like a massive real life mountain. But if you see it from the back, it's literally just metal walls. It's like a big warehouse. It's so incredible how they built it. So that's kind of what I went with this. I want it to be realistic, like it would be in a Universal park. And I think it worked out really, really well. So yeah, getting this final few scenes in now. I think I do most of this off camera. There's not much to it. There's this final screen, and then there's another screen as well. And then you finally go into that little tilt track. And then the other bit that I've got to do after this is the actual drop track, like 13, with the dog that I was on about before. I haven't actually put that in yet because that's kind of still on the outskirt of it. I thought I'd leave that till last because it's not in the way of anything. And then yeah, the whole ride is there. I think the whole ride length is about 6 minutes. It's a long ride. I think I've got about 4 vehicles as well, so the throughput should be okay on it. Again, I can add more, but I've got a feeling it might affect the triggers and stuff like that. Again, I will be uploading this onto the workshop. So if you want to download this, I will leave the link down below for the workshop code. And also, I will set up a file thing so you can download the audio and the video files and upload them. Because obviously when you download this, you won't have all the audio, so the screens will be blank. So you will have to click the link down below, download all the files, put them into the folder. I think you just go on user on, if you can't do it on if you're on console, unfortunately, guys. But if you're on PC, you go into user, Planet Coaster, user audio, and user video, and you upload them into there. And then you should have them in game. So hopefully that would work. Let me know down below if you've tried it. And if you need any help, you can message me on Instagram or Facebook. They're my 2 main platforms. So if you need help downloading, let me know. But yeah, it will be on the actual workshop. So make sure you go and check it out. So here we are. We are now in guest view, and we're going to check out this roller coaster, the Grinch Adventure. That's all I've called it. Pretty simple, really. But you can see here, it's coming down the mountain. I've made the cars little sleighs as well to make it fit in. And here we go. This is like the entrance to it. I thought I'd do these 2 Who houses, and then obviously the big signage there. You go in, the queue's nothing. It's nothing special really, but yeah, you go into this bit here, and you got a bit of queue line. I'm gonna put something on the walls here, maybe some quotes from the film. But yeah, when you go through this second bit, this is the actual Who Village. You come in here and you see all the buildings full of lights, because they obviously love Christmas. You've got a massive Christmas tree. Yeah, I really like the queue line. It's pretty simple, but it works really well. And then you go through here and you've got the Grinch's house. So this is where the Grinch would have lived before he ran away up the mountain. So you go through this really cool tunnel. Again, really simple lighting, but it works. Bit of snow on the ground. And then you enter the Grinch's house. But I'm going to let you guys ride the ride without me jabbering over the top of it, so you can enjoy the sound effects and everything. But thank you so much for watching. If you're new around here, please subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Enjoy, guys.
Right, I love it. sickly, sweet knob-sucking cheermongers. I really don't like them. No, I don't. Ah! I'll tell you, Max, I don't know why I ever leave this place. I've got all the company I need right here. Hello! How are you? I'll tell you, Max.
I'm a psycho.
First floor, factory rejects. Those hooves are hard to frazzle, Max. But we did our worst, and that's all that matters. At least I scared the bejeebers out of that little girl in the post office. She'll be scarred for life if we're lucky.
'But you've convinced me. Who knows? This jubilation could change my entire outlook on life.
Really?
No.
Feet up the side of Mount Crumpet, he rode with his load to the tip-top to dump it.
Maybe Christmas. Perhaps.
And what happened then? Well, in Whoville, they say that the Grinch's little heart grew 3 sizes that day.
Oh well.
What happened?
It's just toys, right?
Hi, Mr. Grinch!
What are you doing up there?
I came to see you. No one should be alone on Christmas.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You really